Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, my name is Lesi with my student number 37 2017 048. Okay, now I want to give the analysis of this story, Louisa, Please Come Home by Shirley Jackson. Okay, in my analysis, there are the intrinsic element. There are setting, characters, the plot, themes, orientation, rising action, climax, resolution, moral value, and then summary of the story Louisa, Please Come Home. Okay. The setting of the story is a city during the 1950s. Louisa's real home is in Rockville, and she took a train to Crane but did not stay there. And then she took a train to Chandler, where she stayed in a room in Mr. Peacock's house. And the characters in this story include: the main character is Louisa, Teacher, 19 years old, and the teachers, Louisa's father, Mr. Teacher's Louisa's father, and Mistress Teacher, Louisa's mother, and Carol, as Louisa's sister. And then Paul is Louisa's neighbor, and Mistress Peacock is the power of the room Louisa rents. And the plot of the story is the story begins 3 years after Louisa had run away from home, when she hears her mother make her yearly announcement, Louisa, please come home. Then there is a flashback. We go back in time as Louisa tells how she ran away. And the first she planned to run away on June 20th, the day before Carol's wedding. While everyone was preparing for the wedding, she walked out the door. And then Paul saw her on the way to the bus, but she lied to him and ran from him. And then she took a bus to the downtown area and then walked to the train station. And then she bought around trip ticket, a ticket to go to one place and then come back to Crane. But she was sneaky because she never planned on coming back. And then in Crane, she bought a tan raincoat so she would look like every other girl her age. And then she went to Chandler on a train where she planned to stay. And then she changed her identity by changing her name to Louise Taylor and making up a story about saving enough money to come to Chandler. When the summer was over, she was planning to go to business school. And then she met Mr. Peacock and told her made-up story. And her mother was a widow. A widow is a woman whose husband has died. This is not true, since Louisa's father was still living. And then Louisa started working at a stationery store, and Louisa saw Paul Louisa and Paul went back by Rockwave so Louisa could go back home, and the twist ending happens. And then the flashback ends as Louisa talk about hearing her mother and the radio on the university of her running away. And then the themes of this story are people often don't appreciate what they have until they have lost it, and though people might know you, they don't always see the real you. And then the orientation of the story is Louisa rather ran away from family on the day before her sister's wedding, and Mr. Peacock found her and treated her will encounter. She met Paul too. They are kind people who always save her. In this case, they hide her. She also always cheerful to do anything because she doesn't want to get attention of police. Her family reported her disappearance, her photos area in all places, and her mother sent her message to speaking in radio once a year of the date when she ran. It is Louisa. Please come home. And the rising action is we follow the report about her in the newspaper, and when I hear it changed my the rising action is Paul tries to prove that Louisa by asking her what color of dress she would wear in her sister's wedding, and Paul can answer well, but Carol directly blamed Paul. And then the climax, Paul also advises her to come home. He helps her and accompanies her to meet her family. Then they go by bus. When they arrive, Carol is absolutely glad to see her, but her father and her mother do not recognize her. They said, "Why don't you leave us alone?" Carol said that I just want to steal something in their home. And the resolution is, I think there is no any way I can do. I say to Paul that we have to go. Her mother says that I have to stay with my aunt family who loves me. Finally, I say good by them. And every anniversary at the date when I run, my mother still talk to me in the radio, "Louisa, please come home." And the moral value of this story is keep relationship with our family and think first, what will you do without selfish? We'll get something with it. And then the summary of this story is Louisa, Please Come Home was a short story about a girl who was not feeling accepted or comfortable at home. She wanted just to get away. She ran away and got a job with Mr. Peacock. Mr. Peacock took her and gave her a job and a place to live. After a couple years, she stopped Paul in the streets, and he told her that he had to bring her back to her parents because there was a reward waiting at home for whoever did bring her back. And when she ended up coming back, her parents did not believe it was her. Okay? That's all about my analysis of the story. Louisa, please come home. I'm so sorry if I had many mistakes. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.